And then he asked me to take my shirt off. And I thought, well, I don't think so, buddy. This is an audition, so it's not really appropriate.
10 years ago, an aspiring actress, Rebecca Caldwell, went alone to a house in Northbridge to audition for a show at the Blue Room Theatre.
And he started getting very, very angry and sort of drunkenly slurring and saying, you've got to get used to this kind of thing if you're going to work in theatre and film, because you're going to be asked to do this all the time.
When Rebecca refused, the situation got worse.
And he, at this point, basically lunged at me and grabbed my shirt and sort of said, no, I need you to take this off right now. And at that point, I left.
What is arguably most worrying about Rebecca's story is that even now, 10 years later, incidents like these are not uncommon. The head of the Perth Film Network, Debbie Thoy, regularly posts on the group's Facebook page warning everyone that requests to see actresses topless in auditions is not industry standard.
Unfortunately, there's a lot of men out there who are filmmakers who do it simply because they want to have the advantage to see naked women and get close to them through this way.
So is there any way to figure out who these men are?
The problem is they come in so many different ways. I mean, I've come across so many different people who I never would have expected to do it, and they did it. And I'm thinking, goodness, it's very hard to know exactly who's going to do it.
As Miss Thoy points out, some filmmakers are completely naive to what they're doing, but that it really should be obvious what is and isn't okay. One of the major problems is that there isn't currently any guideline written out for directors to follow and actors to refer to. FTI's marketing and communications manager Michael Ellis says that such a guideline would only help those in the film and theatre industry.
There isn't anything written down. It's more just an understanding or something that's based on common sense. And I think by, an organisation like FTI getting something written down and making it publicly available to people, that people do know what to expect.
Mr. Ellis says FTI had recently been contacted by numerous women, unsure if the requirements for a casting call were normal.
That had to do with a production company, in inverted bracket, who claimed to be making a horror film in Mandurah. What they were doing, they weren't even having auditions. They were just asking for actresses who were interested in working on the film to send them nude photos of themselves, as well as copies of their driver's license as part of a casting call.
Mr. Ellis says the scary thing about this casting call is that you don't know what they're going to do with the photos or license details. When FTI researched the production company, they found that it was a photographer who looked like he was planning on putting the photos on a website. And the worst of it?
What they actually were doing wasn't technically illegal. You are allowed to ask people to send you things.
Dodgy casting calls like these aren't uncommon in the film and theatre industry. Tumblr user Pro Resting collects and posts the best of the worst audition notices on the page Casting Call Woes.
You must be comfortable being referred to as a slut.
At times it'll feel like a porn when filming, but in the scale of things, it adds to the story and character.
No on-screen nudity required. However, some off-screen nudity may be required.
And that's exactly what Perth's film and theatre industry is worried about. Bianca Stewart, Curtin News.